Bene, rieccoci tornati su Disc Elysium. Direi che è arrivato il momento di parlare con il disertore.
Minions of capital. What do
Allora,
you
devo mettermi la roba in composure. Sì. E penso che ci avviciniamo parecchio alla fine, quindi ci godiamo l'ultima parte di un viaggio. Quindi ascolteremo magari più
minions of
attentamente,
capital?
tranquilli.
For a
Fallendo,
60-year-old
sicuramente,
man with
ovviamente.
stomach trouble who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he's prone to erratic hand
Ok.
gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
One more time, Mr. Jones, the colonel. We need to talk about you killing him.
Petty
Colonnello,
bourgeois
no.
law.
a drop of blood on his saliva.
C'erano delle Maybell dietro la finestra della vittima.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly, nostalgic even.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
Non ho mai visto questi fiori oltre a Martinez. Cioè, dall'altra parte qui a Martinez. Solo qui.
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
Una giovane donna chiamata Classy ti dice qualcosa?
Classier.
Conosci, vero?
With the victim.
There is a small tremble, looks like a smile, a crooked smile, yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst, almost, but you need one more, just one, or maybe two.
Di che marca sono gli stivali che porta?
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa.
Show me the
Oh,
source,
shit.
please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Wait, maybe it's simpler than that.
Sire,
Nice.
he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Le persone cambiano le scarpe, non significa che non è stato lì.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. More. He's gonna crack, but you need a little more.
You lost, Dwat.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years in the urban wild.
È sorprendentemente in forma. Sorprendentemente in
His
forma.
movements are rapid, if erratic.
Ce l'ho
His
fatta.
voice, despite
Dio.
the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animato?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, Thought processes cut off like threads as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair.
Demented.
You've
Demented.
seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Wouldn't a full temper be a byproduct of his life?
Perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected
Un
turns.
temperamento un po'
as it falls on
folle.
him in a way.
Potrebbe essere perché lui è vissuto in questo
In
modo.
summary, you sense
Mr.
some
Jones.
underlying neurological
Va tutto bene?
disorder.
Come sta la tua memoria?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage.
Prendi l'arma,
Stomach thing too, of course.
giace nella sabbia.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light.
Ispeziona.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46 mm, made in Sinyao.
Come lo ho detto, un triangle. Fatto a quello lì.
No one said
Xinjiao.
it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a triangle, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition.
Queste le usa.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him later.
Joseph Lilinovich Joss. Sei sotto arresto per l'omicidio di Cranel Colonel, cioè il colonnello Cranel, qui a Martinez.
Is what you plan to say. Before you can get past, you're under. The lieutenant interrupts you.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
The old man looks at his rifle. You've startled him. Maybe it was the silence. He quickly gathers himself.
Cosa c'è da
Still, what
sapere ancora? Dovremmo ispezionare l'isola, ma in realtà no. Non mi fa andare da nessun'altra parte.
Minions of Capet. What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the...
Maybe
No.
we can fit in there.
Cazzo.
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
There's something you're not getting here that he's realizing.
who watches over him there while I come back for you?
Something is happening. Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Posso chiedere a Lilian di sorvegliarlo.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
Actually, no.
You could come back for me once you're taken into the present. Posso venire io a riprenderti una volta che l'ho portato io al present. La ricetta.
No, no, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
No.
This world? What are you talking about? Is this us?
Your skin is crawling suddenly.
Cosa ho fallito nell'ascoltare? What the fuck?
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Che cazzo è quella
What
roba?
are you talking about?
Gigante insetto bastoncino.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you, with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
Vorrei che tipo ci sia classe qui nascosta da qualche parte anche.
You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reed.
Kim, puoi vederlo?
I can see it.
Infatti lo vedo girato.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Il Phasmid. Non ci credo.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. The segmented antennae move with apprehension, searching for something. You, reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a real
Questo è il Phasmid sull'Indian.
The tape breaks.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium.
Sicuro che non lo spaventeremo?
Pull it open.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Fammi avvicinare prima.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He's letting his pride get in the way. You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out.
I feromoni, posso approcciarlo.
I don't think the pheromone will do anything.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Il tuo cadavere verrà marchiato dalle stelle. Approccialo attentamente.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Alza la tua mano lentamente.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. As As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you. Shifting around in the reeds around it, in the muddy water, you notice some of its hind legs apparently standing on the water from time to time. It's that light.
Sono Harry. Non so davvero chi io sia.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Sulle punte guarda più da vicino.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before.
It's
Like
foaming?
burnt roses.
Che è tipo
Careful.
rabbia, come
It
dire.
may be poisonous.
The foam
Mi viene
slowly
il termine.
turns a darker shade,
Sbavando. Tipo.
like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Tell me, what are you doing? Hai parlato con l'impiccato? Non ti sei arreso per il Phasmid? Conosci della partenogenesi? La partenogenesi. Ok.
I exist.
What? Io esisto pure.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Sono un malato.
What is your illness?
Nel mio cuore. Tristezza.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
Intrus. Come dire? Una qualsiasi sorta di oscurità si è intrufolata. Che tipo di...
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
Sono fiero di essere me stesso, uno strumento incredibilmente sensibile.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
Era di sera intanto all'inizio, ma adesso sto cercando di mettermi in sesto, diciamo.
It must be incredibly hard to Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Detective,
No, ho sbagliato. In honor of your shit, Lieutenant the freighter, which you kept together in the face of total unrelenting day after day, second by second. Detective?
arriving on the scene.
Sono un detective.
So am I.
What?
I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
Il killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
Lo stai distruggendo?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
Cosa sei esattamente?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulindian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Revershaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
Un detective... Pazzesco.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively median life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Pale è fatto dagli umani?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
Non ho quel tipo di potere.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
Come?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Peggio?
Everything your
Come?
eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
Ho già dimenticato il mondo una volta, quando ho bevuto troppo.
So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Da dove viene tutto questo?
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or read. Yum yum.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind.
Hai accidentalmente mangiato un altro phasmid simile a te?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
Un sogno?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Kim, sto avendo una violenta epileptic seizure, non era tipo non chirurgia, ma non mi viene il termine. Aspetta, vado a vedere. Sì, non mi viene, sì, lo so cosa significa, ma non mi viene. No, che confisca? No, che sequestro? È un termine che viene usato anche nella... esatto. Un attacco di follia, praticamente. Attacco di epilettico. Può essere? Un forte e violento attacco epilettico. Vabbè, sì, cioè, penso sia una parola tra virgolette in più in inglese.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Più o meno.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
Devo dirti ciao adesso. Non ho altri pensieri. Quello era tutto.
No, there is one more.
Tutte le creature che ho incontrato, tu sei la più terrificante solo perché gli occhi, no? Cioè. Gentile.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Forever show.
Che donna.
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So overly far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it.
Lo farò.
She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Ok. Fai la foto, Kim.
Okay.
there is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
For all time.
Tocca cosa? Quale delle due è la vera domanda? La zampa o il... non la bocca, ma diciamo
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish.
Freddo.
It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Guarda il tuo dito.
It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Oh, che lick your finger. Che schifo. Accarezza. Vediamo allora il forearm che era avambraccio.
The
Simile
lid
alla
before
falce.
you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
Ora più in
A
alto.
small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes still glisten, mesmerized by the light.
Perché c'è
passing
lick
its
your
nervous
finger?
system.
Io come faccio a non cliccarlo? Lecca del dito.
It tastes like sugar,
Zucchero.
very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
We got it. Sta indietro.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from
Perché ha
you.
deciso di farsi vedere però? Cioè, mi ha raccontato di tutte quelle robe, ok, ma... Ok. Disimpegna lentamente.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Quindi Lena non era pazza. Non si inventava niente. Ah! Kim! L'avevo detto.
Just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water and something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Collection of
It's
items.
gone. Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Cosa
Looks
c'è
like a
lì?
nest of some sort.
Un
We
nido
should
di...
have looked.
Andiamo a vedere.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Oh! What? La madonna. E passaporto di classe. Ma dai. E niente. Quindi così si prendeva l'armatura in realtà. Che beh, non ci faccio niente in realtà. Ho delle stazze che non mi piacciono. Me ne farò una ragione. Guardiamolo adesso il passaporto di classe. Porca miseria. Ma è un'arma? No. È un... Ah, è il mirino che ho usato per sparare? dai. Ma non lo posso equipaggiare però. Passaporto di Clasia. È tenuto troppo bene, vero?
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to
Una donna dai capelli neri chiamata Katarzyna Alasia.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
Guarda la
It's
foto.
Clausia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow.
Sembra maschile.
Old photo, before life came and did what it does.
Cosa ci faceva nel fatto? Cosa ci faceva nel nido del Fasmine?
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or...
Non so che il Fasmine l'ha preso.
Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual. I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
Would it? Maybe it was simply curious.
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But yes, I see your point.
Dice Katarzyna Alasia.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
I told you she kept lying to you. She's probably lying to someone else right now, in another city.
Ci ha mentito.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us. One more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now.
Qual è il suo vero nome allora?
I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alasia, or Clasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Come facevi a non vedere il Fasmine?
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing.
Tocca la sua spalla delicatamente.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem. Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
Che è successo a quest'uomo?
Old age and shock.
Penso che sia il Fasmine.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the Phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke? Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
Non poteva vederlo, Kim.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross,
No response.
Forse è così che il Fasmine sta rimasto nascosto tutti questi anni?
then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Ho dimenticato che fosse qui.
Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Ho parlato con il Fasmine, ha detto che lo stava distruggendo.
You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
Forse.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective.
Può essere qualcosa nella relazione ormonale. What? Qualcosa di ormonale nella sua relazione con il Phasmid?
You mean pheromonal?
Siamo un po' troppo diverso da un uomo per la sua età? Randy?
Humans are humans. Do you need neurological tampering for the glands to work? I don't know.
Prima, quando ho visto, diciamo, visto il suo stato, come dire, sembrava stranamente animato.
Energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Infatti questa specie di animazione è indotta da qualcosa nel Phasmid?
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
È stato qui per troppo tempo.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
Abbiamo trovato alcune cose nel nido del Phasmid.
He stares into the reeds.
Devi vedere l'elmo di ceramica.
Nothing. Just
Niente.
Kuno kicked it into the sea.
Passaporto.
As he said he did. The ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If he did,
This is incredible. Devi vedere il passaporto.
no reaction. His
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the coast?
The spirit.
He hears us. The spirit?
no reply.
Try something else? We got him back.
Il mirino.
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie Phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor
Ti
being.
farò riposare, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Ok. Il ritorno. Kim, qualcuno aveva ragione qua, mi sa. Aspettando delle scuse per avermi denigrato. È il minimo. Ma io volevo provare ad andare qui sotto anche. Ok, posso andare. Cosa c'è? Non nel regno dei sogni, diciamo. You can see inside. Ok. Un buco. Ok. E se posso salire di qua? Oh. Ancora. Scusa, pelvis, non è il pelvide. Oh. Porca troia. Che culo.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
Ispezione il
A
materasso.
single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Prendine uno.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri. Contemporary Ravvicinati prefer Juan, a local blend from the southern islands.
Quelli che abbiamo trovato a Land's End, no?
Yes, this guy gets around.
Spezione il muro.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Tocco il cemento.
Quite old and grimy from years without
Guarda attraverso il buco. Cosa avevi detto? È esattamente Whirling in Rex.
As you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation. A tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
A sinistra.
A towering skyscraper. Its top floors shaved off by
A
artillery.
destra.
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in
Al
rags.
centro.
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye. On the
Figlio di puttana.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
more than that.
Con un paio di con un binocolo potrei vedere persino all'interno della stanza.
A pair of binoculars or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Kim, potrei farlo. Potrei sparare.
Good. I think we have it, detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
In
Finalmente.
our defense, nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
Se persone sono morte dovevamo, non potevamo prevedere.
Don't beat yourself
Evitarlo.
up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it.
Il carburante ci servirà sicuramente nella barca. Quindi qua ci devo andare per forza. Se provo ad andare adesso io qua sopra.
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea.
È freddo.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth. Oh, fuck, yes. Go, no. We're not starting with that.
Perché?
Perhaps there's someone there. Under smelling of tutti fruit, maybe.
Perché so a cosa sta parando. Alza lo sguardo.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins, reach islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you.
Foti la testa. Oddio. Però qui c'è davvero una continuazione, diciamo. Però di qua credo che non ci si possa andare. O meglio, vabbè, abbiamo finito praticamente in sostanza. Non c'è tanto altro da vedere. Punti da mettere, ma pressoché inutili. Praticamente. Manca solo andarsene. Ah, vero, se avessi venduto quella roba avrei trovato poi qua la tanica.
This feels familiar somehow.
Kim, cos'è l'Elysium?
Insul Indian Citizens Militia.
Facendo
It's the official name
black and
of the
white armor
company.
delle
Sounds
veloci.
an awful lot like.
Sembra come RCM.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM.
Ah.
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Ravachol was
Una
supposed
stella
to be-
bianca.
No. An upside down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
No, that's the
A DeLorean era symbol of
Sembra
incident
vecchio.
known
Cosa fa ancora qua?
That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The seat.
Chiedo perché il pensiero sia venuto adesso, non prima. Però. E qua ci siamo andati. Oh. Un gabbiano lì, bello tranquillo.
the skiff is swaying on the way.
Let's. We are done here.